the end goal, like the goal is to, that's why there's so much fucking hype with the wedding industry. Oh my fucking God. Can we go off on that for a minute?
Please
yes,
do.
we can.
Please do, hon.
Jesus fucking Christ. You know how much goddamn fucking money there is in this? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is there, and this all like. That's what the people want to hear.
As I'm... Did I plug the mics in? So both of them should be live.
And Riley,
Check,
the
check,
baby,
1, 2.
is our
Riley.
mascot.
Riley is an annoying little tedious puppy dog. Yes.
Oh, you love her. Everyone loves her. She's very lovable. Look at that face.
So I guess we're pulling the curtain back on this because my amazing daughter started recording before I knew we were. So you kind of saw the behind the scenes stuff. As we're arguing over the focus and the angle on the camera.
Salud.
Cheers, hun bun. Salud. Yes, prost.
Did I teach you when I brought that bottle of wine from Greece back? And remember we popped it.
So yeah, what do you say
Do you
in
remember?
Greek? No.
Yamas.
Yamas? Pronounce
Yamas.
it.
I always
so not yamas. It's
Yamas.
yamas.
Kind of like how you're gonna say yaman, but
Yeah, I was
yamas.
just. Oh my God, I was gonna make that joke. Yaman in Jamaica.
Yamas is how you say cheers in Greek. That is the only Greek word that I remember. Oh, and that had kalimata, which is good morning.
And then
Good morning and cheers. What else do you need to know? As
well,
a
and
woman traveling around Greece?
how many days or
best life?
weeks were you in Greece? It's at least 3, right?
Oh, a month. I was there for a month.
And you learned 1 word.
2 words. Come on.
2 whole words.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. I just wanted to make sure it was coming through.
Greek is a tough language. It's not like any other language I had experienced before. So.
Well, they say Japanese. Okay, so I've heard 2 arguments. Everybody that doesn't speak Japanese says that's the hardest one. But then everybody else in the world almost says that English is the hardest, at least American English, because there's so many exceptions.
Yeah, to the
rules,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then I've also heard. Okay, so we actually give like props to other podcasters that have inspired us. Kristen has definitely hers, and I have mine. The Lex Friedman podcast, I remember him talking about, oh God, no, it wasn't Lex Friedman. I'm sorry. He is an amazing podcast. Check him out. It was actually an American astronaut, and I'm blanking on his name, but he spent he either had the longest or the second longest number of consecutive days in space on the International Space Station. But part of the program was he had to learn Russian because he actually got flown up there on a Russian Soyuz rocket. That's how he got there. And he said, something about the Russian language, and I just realized it's probably the worst time to be talking about Russia because they just invaded Ukraine.
Okay.
Anyway, irregardless of politics, there's something about the Russian language. If you're not born to it, you'll just never quite get it. He was talking about it's a very... Not romantic. He might have used the word romantic.
If it's not your native tongue, you just won't quite get it.
You'll never quite get it, but it's
fully.
a very poetic way that it's used if you're born to it. And if you try to learn it after, you already know how to speak some other language, you're never going to quite get it. You can probably become, I don't know, you did take Spanish in college. You can probably get pretty comfortable and proficient like in Spanish, even if you were born to English. With a lot of practice, and definitely immersion helps, going down there and actually living for a while. And you can probably get almost to the point where if you got good, you might be able to get good enough where the natives wouldn't know that you weren't there unless they just discolor your skin. But there's certain languages, and Japanese might be like this, where if you weren't born and raised with it, you're never going to sound like an actual Japanese person or Mexican or Russian.
So there's like something just so unique about either the accent, the
voice
certain
inflection,
lingo, certain implications that you just can't.
I think it's the voice
learn.
inflection and the emotion that is conveyed by the word. It's almost more about word choice. Whereas if you weren't raised with a language, you might use, even if you know the entire Russian vocabulary, you might choose different words to form your thoughts and sentences. And yeah, I'm already getting uncomfortable. I don't want you to cut this out, but it just dawned on me because of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. I don't even want to be talking about it. But you did just change of topic. You did just finish an amazing. I'm not going to call it a marathon podcast because I've heard longer ones, but you cranked out like 2.5 hours on your last episode,
2
right?
2 hours 37 minutes.
2 hours 37 minutes, and so you finished the series, kind of the intro to your podcast of all your documenting all your past relationships is kind of what the point was. Yep. And obviously that's not what all your podcast is going to be about, but you felt that it was an important intro to your podcast to lay like a foundation of where you have been, what you've gone through to get you to where you are at 30 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel like the fundamental crucial way for like humans to connect with other humans is vulnerability and like having similar life experiences and just people being open about things. And I feel like that's like the number one way to build a community and build credibility. And I feel like the closeness I've felt in my travels and just meeting new people and even strangers of like hearing these random stories and tidbits about, you know, heartbreaking things they've gone through or trials and tribulations. So I feel like that was crucial to just kind of like set up the foundation of, I mean, it was the inspiration for starting the podcast, and it's kind of gotten me to where I am today. So, well,
and it's I like how you said like being completely honest and forthcoming. It makes you, I don't want to steal the word from Ellen, but Ellen DeGeneres, one of her last specials was called Relatable. It makes you relatable, you know, if you can be open and honest about things.
And I think now more than ever, I was actually just talking with one of my girlfriends about this a couple weeks ago. I think since the pandemic, there's this sense of like this another level of sense of like realness that people want. Like there's a lot of this like foo-foo out there still now, but like a lot more even prior to now, but like this foo-foo like live your best life and toxic positivity and la da 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 and like all these like things where it's like people are trying to be inspiring, but it's not coming from like a real life experience.
Not a real place. It feels
people,
fake.
Yeah. And like I wasn't really into podcasts from a listener standpoint until the pandemic. Like Girls Gotta Eat.
Is that when you discovered them?
Yeah. The pandemic.
Okay.
Girls Gotta Eat.
So let's give them a shout out. I mean, eventually in a year or two when you're big, they might hear about us.
I
but
hope so. I'm going to see you guys
yeah, that's right. You're going to see them in
next
Portland.
Month.
Yeah.
I have VIP
So shout out
tickets.
to Girls Gotta Eat podcast,
VIP
which
tickets,
inspired
bitches.
Kristen.
Yes.
And I have too many to list that inspired me. So
yeah, that one. And then Girls Gotta Eat got me through my breakup, like absolutely. And then Case Kenny, he's based out of Chicago. He's a solo podcaster. His podcast is called New Mindset Who Dis.
Nice. I like that.
And he's all about personal growth, development, just being your best version of yourself. A lot of his topics are on.
I just got that.
New mindset, who dis?
New phone, who dis?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm old. I'm a little slow.
Yeah. So those were the two that I kind of toggled the most between. There's some others. But yeah, they got me through. They got me through like the deepest, darkest times of my life for sure up to this point. So
now that we have covered all of the relationship stuff you wanted to talk about, and I know this is still a work in progress, but do you have some ideas for the next few episodes at least? Or are you still kind of thinking about it? Because I know eventually after you get through the relationship stuff, the point was to talk about how you got where you're at, and at 30 and Third Time's Me again is not anti-relationship like at all, but it's also just a reminder to, you know, it's okay to take some time to take care of yourself and think about what you want, what's going to make you happy, and to live your life, live your best life, basically.
Yes, it is. It's exactly that. And I I hate to use that phrase because I feel like that phrase is overused.
It has become cliche.
Yeah, it has.
I think I first started noticing it over a year ago when you were talking about your podcast. But then recently it's become almost overused.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But no, but that is accurate. Yeah. So your question was, what's the plan to talk about after this?
I mean, we already know you're going to have some guests on periodically.
Yeah. So now we're kind of segueing into where I'm at now. Moved back to Oregon, born and raised in Oregon, and like living in a place that I feel like my soul was meant to come back to. I know that sounds like overly spiritual maybe, but like I feel like so at peace here. So just kind of really like coming like back to myself. And I feel like I spent so much of my 20s. I did have some single time sprinkled in, but most of my 20s was spent in a serious relationship where I was I was considering and accommodating and like putting another person first for a lot of my 20s. And that isn't all bad, but especially when you're like that young, and especially as a woman, when you're trying to like figure yourself out and understand what your passions are and what makes you happy, that blocked me from like figuring out what am I passionate about?
Yeah.
What makes me excited? What gets me going every day? And like prioritizing a man and like our future together. And there was so much energy and time and emotion that went into like our life that would be. And then when that crumbled, which in the last podcast we just recorded, it became like, oh fuck, it's just me now. It's me and Riley. And now it was terrifying at first, but now it just is, I feel so free.
Yeah.
I love this freedom that I have. So it's about
it was almost rewarding.
Oh, absolutely. So now now we're kind of segueing into like the whole purpose of this podcast is I just want to like relate to other women and encourage other women and support other women and empower other women and build a community, because everyone has their own journey and story. And it's not, I don't envision women that will listen to my podcast. Not all of them have maybe been through some traumatic breakup where they had exes cheat on them and all these things, but they'll be able to relate in one way or another. And I've met so many women throughout my life that have sacrificed their happiness to some degree or like some component of their life for another person, for a family, for expectations their family had of them because of their upbringing, whatever, a variety of different things. So like just kind of coming home to yourself and like really feeling empowered to put your happiness first, because I have just seen in such a short time that I've been in Portland, I just feel like I'm blossoming like I've never blossomed before.
Yeah.
And it just feels so invigorating and empowering to just feel like, oh my God, I am capable of so much when I just like put myself first in a healthy way and then get my priorities straight in a way that's healthy for me. And like, look what's happening. The universe is like giving all of this, like,
and it's funny how it just kind of, the pieces all came together, because you got the Portland, and you said at the end of the last podcast, you were like, yeah, I moved up here just with the idea of just staying for a few months for the holidays. And then all of a sudden everything fell into place. You met this amazing new group of friends up here.
And that was something that I had been craving for a long time, because, you know, my Arizona friends are like my chosen family. And I hadn't felt a community anywhere I lived friend-wise since Arizona. So I went from Arizona to Bend, to San Francisco, to Austin. And like, I mean, I wasn't in Bend long enough to really establish myself.
Right.
But in San Francisco, nor in Austin, I mean, I have one really, really, really good friend from Austin that I'm still in touch with, and I'm sure we'll be friends for life. But the other friends were surface level, and it didn't feel like.
And she should definitely come up and visit you in Portland if she hasn't been to. Has she ever been to Portland?
Oh, Aubrey?
Yeah.
Oh, we just talked a few days ago.
Oh,
she's
okay,
coming
cool.
out.
She needs to come out.
Oh no, she's already like looking at plane tickets.
Nice.
Nice. Because you haven't met her yet.
No.
Oh my God, you're gonna love her. She's great. But yeah, and she just moved to LA, and so I'm planning to visit her. And it's actually LA.
LA to Portland is cheap.
Oh my God, it's like $140 round trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but anyway, yeah, I hadn't found the kind of community, and that's why my birthday was so emotional for me, because like having my Arizona friends come out weekend one to Bend, and then having you come out for during the week was so great, and then weekend two,
and then we got to meet with Jim and Mikey.
Yeah, it was.
And then obviously we would have met with your mom, but she got sick totally understandable. But that, and then how Mikey, the birthday dinner with Jim and Michael, sorry, I try to call you Michael. She calls you Mikey. But that was amazing. And then how it worked out that Michael was able to help you with this podcast. Like, big shout out to Michael, dude.
Mikey's
Mikey's
my
nothing
tech guy.
that you're going to see would be happening without Michael.
No.
Friggin' guy's amazing.
Because when you're starting something new like this, whether it's a YouTube channel or a podcast or any kind of business or just hobby like this, like there's little technical components that if you're not in this world, technical issues, it's overwhelming, and you just don't. And I spent hours like trying to Google and YouTube how to do this and that, and then
and Michael did it in like 10 minutes. How's it make you feel?
We're at my birthday dinner on the night of my birthday, and we're at dinner with us, and Dad Jim and Mikey, my little brother, and my little brother has built computers from the ground up. Oh, and I guess for anybody that doesn't know, Jim is her other dad. We should just clarify that. Oh, so. Yes. Yeah. So she has two dads. Dad Jim. Yes. Dad Jim and Dad Ken. Yes. You'd be laughing right now. You would be. At that grandpa. Because of yes, at the Oregon State game. That's why I have the Oregon State shirt on. Oh my gosh. No, you don't. That's not why. You're lying. But Mikey's super tech savvy and knowledgeable, and so he helped me with which were simple things to him, but I just couldn't. I was racking my brain trying to figure out, how do I record it? I want to record these podcasts. What's the easiest way? What tools? What systems? What platforms? What should I edit the podcast on? Where do I upload it to? So he helped us get the whole setup going, and now we're rocking and rolling. And now I'm addicted. It's kind of like a drug, isn't it? Because this is literally what we do. Like, my dad and I, we go, like, when we're hanging out, if we're grabbing a beer or getting a drink or whatever, like, we're just having conversation. It's like, why not? So why not record it and, just put it out there, and it might help somebody. Yeah. Again, trying to be relatable. Oh, but I did actually have a topic. So wait, before we go there, so now we're moving to the next phase, and I do know that a lot of what you wanted to talk about was like your international travel, and none of this. I probably listened to too many podcasts, and been too aware of people getting, friggin' cancel culture bullshit. So I'm always hypersensitive. I'm like, and correct me if I'm wrong, which I know I'm not, but none of this third time's me thing or whatever, empower women, none of this is anti-relationship. None of this is trying to say that, there's anything wrong with that. It's just like, look, it's if you're in a place in your life where you haven't found that person you want to spend the rest of your life with, it's okay to be single, and while you're single, there is so much personal growth that can happen, and you can do amazing things and have amazing experiences even if you're single. Absolutely. Did I sum that up right? Yes. And okay. And you've gone back to this a couple times, and so maybe this is like, because I've referenced, when I summarize the podcast, I talk about like empowering women to not feel like in order to be fulfilled, they need to be in a relationship. That's what I meant to say. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. Like, I just want to support and empower and encourage women that maybe you're in a relationship and you're not feeling fulfilled in whatever way. Maybe you're single. You're not feeling fulfilled. Maybe you want to be in a relationship and you're not finding the right man, and you're dating and you're trying, and like, there's all these different like situations. Right. And I feel like I used to get teased for being like a relationship girl, because I jumped from relationship to relationship. And if you listen to my episodes, these first few episodes, you'll kind of like learn my history a little bit. And I never like intentionally was like trying to, I never felt personally like I need to be in a relationship to be happy. Right. But it just kind of happened. And I when I connect with someone, I really, and I don't know if, call it my Aquariusness if you're into astrology, but I really I'm a loyal person. And so Granny will love that shit. Hey, Granny. Hi, Mom. But it just happened. So no, it's not an anti-relationship thing. There is so much societal pressure, and you will not understand it unless you are a woman. Yeah. But there's so much societal pressure, and this is like, this is an evolution and decades of like history of how women have been positioned in the world and society and their gender roles and all these
through
things,
culture and evolution.
right?
Just, everything.
That the end goal, like the goal is to. That's why there's so much fucking hype with the wedding industry. Oh my fucking God. Can we go off on that for a minute?
Please
yes,
do.
we can.
Please do, hun.
Jesus fucking Christ. You know how much goddamn fucking money there is in this? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is there, and this all like goes back to like the fucking Disney marketing depiction of like the prince and the happiness and the marriage. And there's so
the pageantry.
Much, and it's like this amazing epiphany moment when you kind of come out of it and you almost observe this from like an alien view. And you realize how fucked up we are and how many years and decades and centuries of just been shoved down our throats of,
and conditioning.
I mean, what rom-com have you not watched where it's like, oh, every girl dreams about her wedding day from a little girl's age. What? No, I didn't. No, I did not. But Disney tells you that's what you should be doing. Right?
Yeah.
And like, it's like Barbie dolls and Barbie has Ken.
They're selling you a lifestyle.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
It's marketing and they're selling you a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this podcast can help everybody because whether you're in a relationship or not, it's more about when you say third time's me, it's just remembering or trying to remind, geared toward women. It's okay to consider and take care of your personal needs and goals,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay to think of yourself. You're not indebted and you don't have to succumb to societal expectations about what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's more than okay. Like that is your right. That is your human birth given right.
Yeah.
And you will guarantee be a happier, more fulfilled person if you like put the time in for that and protect that. Right. Yeah. And that looks different for everyone. I totally understand this is not a one size fits all.
Right.
Like this could mean, Susie over here maybe has a year or two of singleness and she kind of has time to like put herself first. Or maybe, I don't know, Jill over here, like she's never been single, but she finds ways. It's more just about like, I'm trying to connect with women at all stages in life and all different relationship statuses. And it's more just about like making sure to put yourself first, not be scared to go out and adventure and do things alone and not feeling like you need a partner. And maybe you do have a partner, but there might be certain things that you want to do. Maybe your partner doesn't want to do, but you should do them anyway. That's okay. That's actually highly encouraged. And I'm talking like traveling during. I can't even tell you.
You were going with that.
I can't even tell. No, I can't even tell you how many like girlfriends of mine, which love them dearly, but I've had friends that God, this fucking drives me crazy. I'm gonna go off right now. Like I have friends, love you guys, but I have friends where like I ask them about like going on a girls trip, planning a girls night, and their response. Oh, let me check with hubby's calendar. Let me check with hubby to make sure we have nothing planned.
Or whatever, yeah.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
Wait, excuse me? Wait, I missed the part where there was like in the handbook and the manual that says as soon as we get in a relationship, we need to like cross check each other's social calendars to make sure that honey doesn't have something planned that I might be like obligated to go to, so I can't have a social life unless I clear it by him. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Okay.
Sorry, I just can't.
Foot off the gas a little bit, just to clarify. And I think I'm already realizing I'm gonna be the disclaimer on this. So what you're saying is obviously if you're in a relationship, it's respectful. If you get invited to like go out of town for a weekend with your girlfriends and you're in a relationship, I mean it's respectful and expected to at least let the partner know. That's not what you're saying.
Letting them know and asking their like.
So asking permission is different than letting them know.
Yeah.
Just give them a heads up. Keep them informed. Obviously, you would say, "Hey, so and so Susie Q has this birthday trip planned. We're going to be out of town on the second weekend of July."
I just.
So you at least keep them informed.
No, notifying your partner of like your social plans and out of town agendas. Absolutely, that is respectful.
Oh,
and
right, of course.
No, I'm talking like it's more this like.
So I might have misunderstood. I'm sorry.
It's more of a needing to run something by your partner in terms
to
of
get approval.
Yes.
Okay, right. I'm there with you.
Sorry,
yes.
maybe I didn't articulate
yes,
myself.
I probably didn't hear you, but yeah, you're right.
And some of these friends of mine are very independent women.
Like if Alina, hey, it's going to be her, Alina's like 25, right? She's 25. We're going to go with that. Love you, Alina. So on her 26th birthday, if she wants to go to Sonoma for the weekend, yeah, you should just be able to say, yeah, I'm there, girl. Let's book it. And then you tell, if you're in a relationship, you tell your partner that, hey, this is what we're doing. You shouldn't have to tell Alina, oh, wait, I have to check.
Yeah.
To make sure I can
let me check in with so-and-so.
Right. It shouldn't be that way. On both sides. It shouldn't be that way.
No. Yeah, both sides.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Okay, off my little...
And Alina really is 25.
Yeah. So anyway, tangent.
But yeah, it's more about kind of communication is important, obviously, but it's also about respecting, being able to be in a partnership, and also being respecting each other and trust and all that stuff. It's kind of what you're talking about, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess, I don't want to go down this route right now. I don't think.
Sure you do.
I think a lot of it boils down to like dependency, and I think a lot of it and independence as well.
Yeah.
I believe, and I don't think that anyone would argue this. Having a healthy amount of independence in your relationship is healthy.
Yeah.
That is good for both parties involved, as long as it's, on equal kind of, on both sides, both people feel like they have that it's mutually respected. I feel like that's really important, and I feel like a lot of relationships lack that, and a lot of people are scared to ask for more of that. So yeah.
Oh, and I already thought of another disclaimer. I'm going to keep putting these out there. Looking in the camera, we are by no means experts in any topic we talk about. We have had no formal training, haven't gone to college for any of this stuff. We're just talking, and we could be wrong about stuff, and we're open to new information, and we will change our opinions when we have new information. So we're open-minded. We're just riffing, talking about our personal life experiences, and if it's something that can help somebody else, that's great. But we are by no means trying to claim that we are experts on anything.
Oh, of course not. No.
Yes.
This is just purely based off of experience.
Life experience. We're just sharing our personal experiences with you and hoping you might gather some useful information from it. But I am going to say that I am an expert, and I'm right about the fact that Tom Brady is the best quarterback ever, and Kenny Chesney is the best music artist ever. So
you just had to do it.
I had to.
Brady plug, didn't you?
Tom Brady, baby.
Fucking A.
Yeah. 7 Super Bowls. He's the GOAT.
Whatever.
And let's go Oregon State Beavers.
My dad's obsessed with the Beavers. Yeah, that is it. That is accurate. You are.
Are we still talking about football teams?
Yeah, Beavers. Oh my God.
She missed it, guys. I'm sorry. I thought you were trying to make a joke.
No, I was not.
And to be clear, I'm only obsessed with the one beaver. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're getting weird.
Yeah, well,
you guys
then
are understanding our weird relationship where we talk about we have no boundaries and no limits. But we talk about.
I know. Gosh damn.
It's weird.